Hey there, everybody. This is Martin from Neighborhood Insurance Agency. I'm the owner and principal agent at my agency, Neighborhood Insurance Agency in Santa Ana, California. We're doing a video blog today, and today's video blog will be Martin's 10 Commandments for an Insurance Audit on your workers' comp. Yep, you need to know how to prepare in order to get that best result, right, on workers' comp. So, we're going to start with the 10 Commandments that I always say you should follow. But I put in red at the very top when you should schedule it. And this is very important. When you schedule an audit, it should be on a Friday afternoon if possible at 3 p.m. or later. Why? Because the auditor is just like you. Wants to leave early on the weekend, wants to go see the family, go have drinks with friends, go see a movie, whatever it may be, go to the beach in this instance. We're here in Southern California. But the auditor is a person, so just remember that whenever you're going to do an audit. Okay, anyways, number one rule, thou shalt not be unprepared. In other words, have all your paperwork ready. Do not think that the auditor can read your mind, because he cannot, or that he has all the paperwork that you've been giving them throughout the year. They need confirmation of what you've given them. So be prepared. Thou shalt not forget to be there to answer questions. Do not schedule the audit for somebody else in your office for your CSR. You handle the audit. You bring and make sure that you bring your agent with you on the first couple of audits so you know how it's running. And the agent can help you along the way in terms of what to say and what not to say. Thou shalt, which leads to question number 3. Thou shalt not answer any questions that are not asked. Do not volunteer information. A simple yes or no, and then just listen. You know, everybody says, 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? So listen. Number 5, thou shalt not forget to do a payroll breakdown by class code, by department, or by job duties. Make sure everything's in order. Make sure that your employees are where they're supposed to be in terms of that class code. And if you catch an error, then you can tell the auditor and you can do an adjustment, sometimes to your favor. But if you don't do that and the auditor catches it, they will always do it to the favor of the company. Yep. Even though it's not fair, that's what usually happens. And thou shalt not forget to separate owners, officers, clerical, outside sales, and drivers' payrolls, if you have drivers, or any other employees that you feel should not be classified to the governing class code. Hey, believe me, if you can get clerical is pretty inexpensive. So if they qualify for clerical and that's their primary job, make sure they're there. If not, then find them in the right code, but at least put them in the right code so you don't have any surprises in the audit. Thou shalt not forget to have certificates of insurance for subs on hand. If they require proof of insurance, give it to them. Here are certificates of insurance. If they ask for proof of that they're not the only, we're not the only business for them, that's not your job. That's the job of the person that they're trying to get the certificates from, which you gave them. That should be your only job. If they want proof that they have other employers other than yourself, that's for the auditor to figure out. That's not for you. Or the IRS. Thou shalt not forget to have the definitions on payroll, sales, subcontract costs, etc. on hand and reviewed before auditor arrives. Yeah, that's really, really important. But it's a general rule, so you should always have that. Thou shalt not fail to ask auditor to recap the audit findings before she leaves. You really want to know where you're going to be at before the auditor bolts or takes off. Okay. And the last one, that thou shalt not forget to ask for a copy of the audit. Yes, you can actually ask for a copy of the audit so you can be prepared for any surprises. And remember, from all of this, treat the auditor with respect that he deserves, and make sure that when he or she leaves with a smile on their face. Okay? And that does it for my 10 commandments on how to survive an audit. If you have any questions, please contact me. Bye-bye.